Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack a 50-year alliance, a secret nuclear deal, and a pretty shocking act of betrayal that happened at a moment of absolute crisis.
So, it all starts with this. Saudi Arabia, one of the wealthiest and most powerful countries on the planet, has just been betrayed, and at its most vulnerable moment, no less.
And here's the kicker. It wasn't by an enemy. It was by the one country it trusted to have its back, its nuclear-armed protector. In this explainer, we're going to figure out exactly why Pakistan did absolutely nothing when the kingdom came under attack.
But to really get why this betrayal is so huge, we've got to rewind the clock. Let's go all the way back to the 1970s and see how this very powerful and honestly pretty unusual alliance got started in the first place.
It was, you could say, a perfect relationship. On one hand, you've got Saudi Arabia just swimming in cash. We're talking $1 billion a day from oil, but with basically no real military to defend itself. And on the other hand, you have Pakistan, with this incredible battle-tested army, but an economy that was completely falling apart. You see, it was a match made in geopolitical heaven. Then came 1979. And for Saudi Arabia, it was an absolute nightmare. In 1 year, they get a hostile new regime in Iran right next door, a shocking terror siege on their holiest site in Mecca, and the Soviet Red Army invading Afghanistan. Suddenly, they realize that even after buying more American weapons than Israel, Australia, and the UK combined, they couldn't actually defend themselves.
And that mutual desperation, well, it led to one of the most unique and frankly dangerous agreements in modern history. It was an unspoken pact that would totally redefine power in the Middle East.
And the solution to Saudi Arabia's problem was something called Project 706. This was Pakistan's top secret mission, their version of the moonshot, to build an atomic bomb. In the Saudis, they saw a golden opportunity.
The deal they struck was brilliantly simple. Saudi Arabia would pour money, oil, and endless financial bailouts into Pakistan to get that nuclear program built. In return, Pakistan would basically extend its nuclear umbrella over the kingdom. They even stationed up to 20,000 of their own troops on Saudi soil. The message was clear: an attack on one is an attack on both.
And look, this wasn't just some secret handshake deal whispered in a back room. Eventually became public knowledge. Pakistan's own defense minister went on TV and said, "Yup, our nuclear capabilities could be extended to Riyadh." He made the nuclear part of the alliance totally explicit.
Okay, so let's fast forward. How did this ironclad pact actually hold up when things got real? Let's imagine a crisis, say on February 20th, 2026. This is the moment this 50-year alliance gets put to the ultimate test.
So in this scenario, a US-Israeli strike takes out Iran's supreme leader. Iran's response is furious, it's swift, and it's aimed directly at Saudi Arabia's oil and gas facilities. They decide to hit America's ally instead.
Just picture it. Missiles are raining down on the kingdom, day after day. This is it. This is the red line. The defense pact is officially triggered. The agreement couldn't be clearer. This is an act of war against Pakistan, too.
So, what does Pakistan do? The country with that battle-hardened army, the nuclear arsenal that Saudi Arabia paid for, the nation that promised to protect the kingdom. What's their move?
Well, based on current analysis, their response would most likely be a phone call. I'm not kidding. Their foreign minister would call Iran and just sort of remind them that, hey, a defense pact exists, no jets scrambled, no troops deployed, just a phone call while their ally burns.
Which brings us to the billion-dollar question of this whole explainer. Why? Why would Pakistan just abandon its main financial backer, risking a 50-year alliance at the one moment they were needed most? Well, the reasons are a cold mix of self-preservation and, honestly, just stunning duplicity. First off, attacking Iran could spark a civil war inside Pakistan with its 40 million Shia citizens. Second, they're already fighting conflicts on 3 different borders. They simply can't afford a fourth. And third, and this part is just wild, Pakistan had already been selling nuclear secrets to Iran, the very country they were supposed to be protecting Saudi Arabia from.
Okay, so if Pakistan is such an unreliable, even treacherous partner, why does the world, including a betrayed Saudi Arabia, keep putting up with it? How on earth do they get away with this stuff?
The answer comes down to one single, terrifying number: over 170. That's roughly how many nuclear weapons Pakistan has. It's the 5th largest arsenal on the entire planet.
And that right there is their ultimate geopolitical insurance policy.
Because as bad as a stable, double-dealing Pakistan is, a collapsed Pakistan is a global nightmare. I mean, just think about 170 nukes falling into the hands of terrorists or being sold to the highest bidder. That scenario is so terrifying, the world will do almost anything to stop it from happening.
So here's the bottom line. The world's fear of a failed nuclear Pakistan is way, way bigger than its anger over any specific betrayal. That arsenal is their get-out-of-jail-free card.
And this creates a predictable, almost unbreakable cycle. Step 1, Pakistan's economy gets close to total collapse. Step 2, the world panics about who might get their hands on those nukes. Step 3, the bailouts start flowing in, from the IMF, from the US, even from the allies it just betrayed. And step 4, repeat.
Which leaves us with one last, pretty provocative thought to chew on. Has Pakistan basically engineered a system where its own instability, backed by that terrifying nuclear arsenal, has ironically become its greatest strength? Has it actually turned betrayal into a business model?